Welcome to the Far Out. Today on this segment of Stumbled Upon, we are going to have a look at how war had consequences for football played on this British overseas territory. Consequences as in they can't play with the big boys anymore. Earlier on the channel, we did an episode on Argentina, exploring the origins of football in that country. You can check out the video over here. That's when we briefly spoke about the United Kingdom-Argentina relations in the recent past, especially about the Falkland Islands. When we did some further research, we found out that today the Football Association Falkland Islands, or the Falkland Islands Football League, does not belong to the CONMEBOL, which is the South American Football Confederation, given that it's only 300 miles off the coast of Argentina. That is because the Confederation's member countries such as Brazil, Uruguay, Paraguay, etc. support Argentina in the sovereignty conflict. This also means it can neither be a member of FIFA. Thus, the team is not eligible to play in official competitions such as the World Cup and the Copa America. Now, the Falklands War did take a huge toll on both sides, especially that on Argentina's, and we are not here to take sides. However, there are few interesting facets of the war that impacted football. For instance, how the military propaganda machine had made everyone believe Argentina was winning against the British Armed Forces. How the Argentine team playing in the 1982 World Cup in Spain suddenly realized that Argentina was losing the war in the Falkland Islands, which was going on simultaneously, and how they were only fed lies back home, as well as how the military played a part in Maradona's career where he was starting out in the late 70s. It all does make for an interesting reading. However, in this video, we are only going to limit ourselves to the subject of football on Falkland Islands, along with few other information regarding the archipelago, such as the name Falkland Islands comes from the Falklands Sound, or the strait that separates the two main islands. It has a population of approximately 3,400. In 2013, the Falkland Islands held a referendum on its political status, that is, whether it wants to remain a British overseas territory or that of Argentina. 99% of votes cast favored remaining a British overseas territory. And as a British overseas territory, the Falklands have internal self-governance, and the United Kingdom takes responsibility for their defense and foreign affairs. The capital and largest settlement is Stanley on East Falkland. Under the British Nationality Falkland Islands Act 1983, Falkland Islanders are all British citizens. Football has been reported to have been played on the Falklands since the late 19th century. As per records, the first ever game on the islands was held in 1892. The first ever organized football team in the Falklands was Stanley Football Club. It was reported to have been in existence since 1960. During the 1920s and 1930s, most competitive football matches on the Falkland Islands were of military stationed there. In the latter half of the 1930s, many Falkland Islander boys tried to organize a recreational league on the island, though they were never successful. However, the efforts did prompt two youth teams to form in the 1950s, whom occasionally played matches with one another. Following World War II, the name Stanley Football Club was revived and became the nickname of the national team. The Falkland Islands Football League, which is branded as Stanley Services Limited Football League, is the national governing body of football in the Falkland Islands. The association operates the national team and the Stanley Services League, the only domestic league on the islands. Even though they can't participate in the World Cup qualifiers and Copa America, with a population of slightly over 3,000, their national team isn't exactly a world beater. They end up losing friendly games against stationed troops on the islands and Royal Navy makeshift teams, and that too by a fair margin. Nevertheless, the national team gets to participate in the Island Games, a biannual international multi-sports event organized by the International Island Games Association, or IIGA, where teams each represent different island communities as shown on the map here, which are IIGA members. Currently, all competitor teams represent non-sovereign territories of European nations, some within European waters and some further overseas such as the Falkland Islands. In 2013, the Falkland Islands national team registered their best performance at the games, winning the bronze medal. So that wraps this segment 2. Let us know in the comments below of what you thought of this episode of Stumbled Upon. We'll keep adding more videos to this series when we stumble upon something which we find fascinating. We'll see you on the flip side.